My roommate said I wasn't on the lease. I proved her wrong. I came home from work to find all my stuff in boxes on the front lawn. My clothes, my books, my grandmother's lamp that survived 3 generations, just sitting in the grass like garbage. I ran to the front door and my key didn't work. I banged on the door until my knuckles hurt. My roommate Whitney opened it with her arms crossed. "What are you doing?" I asked. "You need to leave." She said it like she was telling me the weather. "This is my apartment now." "What are you talking about? We've lived here together for 2 years. She smiled. "Check the lease. Your name isn't on it." I talked to the landlord and he confirmed. "You're just a guest who overstayed." My blood went cold. I paid half the rent every single month. I helped her move in. I painted the walls. I fixed the garbage disposal when it broke. And now she was throwing me out? I found out later what really happened. Whitney's boyfriend Derek wanted to move in, but there was a problem. The lease only allowed 2 occupants. So instead of asking me to leave like a normal person, she decided to pretend I never existed. I stood on the lawn, staring at my grandmother's lamp. My hands were shaking. "Whitney, this is insane. Let me grab my documents from my room. I can prove I live here." She laughed. "What documents? There's nothing in there that says you're on the lease. I already checked." She slammed the door in my face. I sat in my car for an hour trying to figure out what to do. I called the landlord. He said Whitney told him I was just a friend who crashed on the couch sometimes, that I never paid rent, that I didn't have any legal right to the apartment. I wanted to scream. Then I remembered something. When we first moved in, Whitney was still rebuilding her credit after a bankruptcy. The landlord wouldn't approve her a loan, so I co-signed the lease. My name was first on the application, but that was 2 years ago. Would the landlord even remember? I drove to his office the next morning. He looked annoyed when I walked in. "I told you yesterday, you're not on the lease." I sat down across from him. "Can you pull up the original application?" He sighed and turned to his computer. Clicked around for a minute, then his face changed. He went quiet, scrolled down, clicked again. His eyebrows went up. "Is there a problem?" I asked. He turned the monitor toward me. The lease agreement. 2 names at the top, Whitney Hale, and right above hers, my name, my signature, my social security number. "I'm the primary leaseholder," I said calmly. "She's the co-signer." The landlord's face went pale. "She told me you were just a guest." She lied. He picked up the phone immediately. I could hear Whitney's voice on the other end, cheerful, confident. She had no idea what was coming. "Miss Hale," he said slowly, "I need you to come to my office right now. There's been a serious misunderstanding." I waited in that office for 45 minutes. When Whitney walked in and saw me sitting there, her smile disappeared instantly. "What's going on?" she asked nervously. The landlord slid the lease across his desk. "Care to explain why you told me this woman wasn't on the lease when she's actually the primary tenant?" Whitney's face went white, then red. Then she started stammering. "I didn't know. I thought she must have forged it." "Your signature is right next to hers," the landlord said coldly. "Dated the same day. Witnessed by my assistant." Whitney looked at me with pure hatred. "You're really going to do this?" I leaned back in my chair. "You threw my grandmother's lamp on the lawn." The landlord stood up. "Miss Hale, I'm issuing you a formal violation notice. You changed the locks without authorization and attempted to illegally evict the primary leaseholder. You have 48 hours to restore her access and return all of her belongings to the apartment." Whitney's jaw dropped. "You can't be serious. If you don't comply, I'll begin eviction proceedings against you, not her." I walked out of that office feeling 10 feet tall. 2 days later, I was back in my apartment. Whitney was still there, but she wouldn't look at me. Derek never moved in. She moved out 3 months later, said she couldn't stand living with someone so petty. I kept the apartment, got a new roommate who actually respects me, and my grandmother's lamp sits on the table by the window, right where it belongs.